Hi everyone, I'm Jen. I have a friend who knows about my woo-woo stuff from before the Mandela Effect. She knew me when I started seeing dead people and seeing other things that are traditionally not normal. And she asked me, she does not see the Mandela Effect, but she asked me what I thought about this whole coronavirus thing and everything. So this is going to be controversial and it's going to be complex, but now that I have experienced being aware of the Mandela Effect, which I've long ago called multiple experiencings, because it's way more than just seeing the prop changes of logo changes. It's way more than that. Okay, so she asked me, knowing that I believe in, she's using the word timelines, but I believe that each of us is one hand and that we express ourselves through different versions of us. Let's just say 5 fingers. And that our awareness, our consciousness, our spirit, our I am bounces around to living in different fingers of the same one hand. All the other fingers are also living and experiencing. So whoever is with us on the other fingers will see us as well. It's just wherever we are vibing at, that's which finger we're going to live on. So I wouldn't believe all this and I wouldn't understand all this had I not experienced the Mandela Effect and multiple experiencing. So I apologize that this is confusing and I'm doing my best. My biggest thing is that we're in one HereNow, one overhead projector, and there are different ways of experiencing the here now. So there are different clear plastic sheets that are on the overhead projector. And with the Mandela Effect or me seeing dead people, for some reason I'm able to see the other clear plastic sheets that we're all living on. And maybe they're not one on top of the other. Maybe they're all simultaneously at the same place. I don't know, just to be easier, let's just say they're layered on top of each other. And so when I see dead people at times, other people won't see them, but I'll be able to see them. So just for those of you who don't know, I was brought up as an atheist and did not see my first dead person till age 31. I'm 56 now, so I've got, 25 whatever years under the belt of experiencing this as it being real. I've come to find out that that what we've taught, that we have one life, is not the case. I believe that there is what some people call reincarnation, of the lives you've lived before and the lives that you may live after. When a new baby's born, some will say, "Oh, that's grandma," blah blah blah. It, it. So if time is linear, it's not. But if time is linear, then there's a before and after. Hi, baby. There's a bee buzzing by me. So my best way to explain this virus thing is that whatever realm you are experiencing, it is very real. I'm not taking anything away from that. Every reality is real. It's just which one do you want to live in? And one of my best examples is, hey Rex. How you doing? It's the doggy. It's the doggy. I don't know if you're seeing the doggy. Where do you want to live in? Okay, so many people just live in the reality of what is scripted for them versus their own imaginings creating their own reality. Those of us who live in our own created imaginings are considered crazy and mentally challenged and ill. In the normie world where we, would follow the trending, the spoon-fed, MEDIA, Medusa, Medea, scriptings, and whether it's done on purpose or not, it's not even the point. The point is, sorry, my mama bears up because I'm aware that many, their highest consciousness is living in a reality that is horrific right now. And they're living on a different finger of the one hand than they could be living in. And that's what I was saying, my best example is weather forecast. I do not listen to the news. I do not watch weather forecasts. I've turned it off on my phone. And I experience different weather than the people right next to me. I'll be walking with someone and they're experiencing different weather, totally different weather. When I lived at the Women and Children's Center, sorry, there are lots of flying things around me. Mother Nature, just being Mother Nature. But the children and I would experience sunshiny days. Someone just said, "Oh, I heard about the bad weather you're having." Okay, this is my bad weather. Now, does it change? Does it change? Does my video change for you based on what finger you're living in? I don't know. For me, I hear birds. I see the breeze. It's nice weather. I see green leaves on trees. Purple flowers too. Okay, the point is, I've experienced different weather where the other adults at the Women and Children's Center, they were experiencing gray skies, rainy skies. They would scold their children for playing out in the rain. And the children, me having been out with them, these are different time periods with different children at different situations. So it would happen multiple times with different scenarios and children and everything. And the children would look at me, look at their moms. Their moms would be upset because we've been playing out in the rain without any coats and appropriate shoes and all that. There was one mom, these other women don't know me, but this one mom, she trusted what I was saying, and I did tell her, I said, no, it's not raining outside. And so she looks outside and she's like, yeah, it is. Why have you got blah, blah, blah? And she's mad. And she's the one that uses the belt on her children. So that probably prompted me to continue pushing my reality, because I don't want to push my reality onto anyone else. I get that other people want to do that to other people. Everyone has a free will what kind of reality they want to live in, for the most part. So I just didn't want the children to get the belt for sassing their mom. And I was calm, and I looked her in the eyes, like slowly, gently this time, and said, no, for us it's been blue skies, maybe white clouds, and sunshiny, and the grounds have not been wet, so we're fine. Our clothes are not wet, our shoes are not wet, we're not wet. And then she looks out the window again, and she got the, the WTF look, because then she joined my reality, our reality with her children's, and it was sunny outside for her. Now, for those of us experiencing the Mandela Effect, most of us, we would get the WTF, what the flippity flappity, ME, Mandela Effect, or multiple experiencings. Our reality would change, and other people wouldn't notice, and it was, scary for us. The thing is, I'm past the fear, and maybe that's why I had to experience that the past few years, because I'm here to tell you there are different fingers to this situation with the coronavirus, okay? There are realities, it's very real. People are dying, and that is happening. And then there are realities that hospitals are empty, and we're wondering what's going on. Why are people freaking out? The hospitals are empty. I'm sorry about your loved ones that are dying from this or that are sick from this. That's very real. I'm not saying it's not. Just like when you're living in a reality where there's a monocle to the Monopoly Man, that's very real. But where we are right now, there's never been a monocle to the Monopoly Man. There's never been a fist to the thinker in Rodin's thinking statue. The changes go on and on, even our body costumes. The heart in this current body is centered. North and South America are no longer one on top of the other. The point is, the props don't matter. The costumes don't matter. You can bounce around to whatever age and stage of this one theater. And like the strings of a guitar, there's a low, there's a medium, and there's a high. And the higher you vibe, the less you're tethered to what some people call the 3D reality. If you only get your information from the news and you're keeping up how many people are dying, that's how many people are going to be dying. You're only going to have the weather that is forecasted for you because you're paying attention to a spell that is forecasting a reality for you to experience. If you choose not to pay attention, I'm telling you, I experienced sunny days. Another great example is I was in my car. I get it. For those of you in my channel, you've already heard these stories. I have so many HUH playlist. I have so many stories of these woo-woo stuff. I'm in the car driving, and my passenger says, "Watch out." Now, I just had a squirrel cross over, so maybe maybe the scripts are similar for the different fingers, just a tad differently. So, like, I'm aware there's a quarantined, shelter at home, blah 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 reality, but it's not experiencing it to the density of others. So when I was in this car, maybe the script called for an animal to cross the road, and a squirrel, crossed the road, and it did not fully cross it over to the grass part. Once it crossed to the shoulder, I started moving my car again, but my a friend in the car goes, "Watch out." I'm like, okay, a squirrel should cross all the way to the grass because it could U-turn. So I did, and then I started driving again, and and my friend's like, "Watch out." I'm like, "What?" She goes, "The deer." I'm like, "What deer?" Because and I don't know if I told her, but I'm like, the squirrel. I just saw the squirrel. What deer? And so I'm looking to the left and the right, in a neighborhood at that time with the houses uh, like built within the woods of a mountain. And so it just, they could be hidden in there, the deer. I've never seen them. Just as a note, my friend said that she would always see deer in our neighborhood, and I never did. So I just could happen to never see them. True. Or I could be on a different finger, right? And so then I said, "What deer?" And so I'm looking to the left, to the right, because, the squirrel, I've already seen it cross in front of me. And so I know there's not a deer way down there or anywhere on the road. And so I look to the left and the right. I don't see a deer. So I said, "Where?" And she just looks at me with like, "What the heck?" And she lifts her arm to the front of my car, to the hood. And the way her eyeballs were focused, it was right there. So I look at the front of my hood, and then a deer materializes. Do you understand? With her words of what reality she was in, a deer materializes for me. I've had many experiences of these materializings and morphings. It's just this is the best one. Now, would I have hit the deer if I was in my original reality where the squirrel crossed the road and I just started going? I would not have hit the deer. Everybody would not be dying from the coronavirus. But when I entered her reality, yeah, I would have hit the deer. It was as real can be. And guess what? Real as real can be is real for whatever reality, realm we're each in. So this brings me to my next thing. I do receive messages, and all my promptings, they come from from within. All my promptings have had a check. If I have a message for someone, it comes out with their permission, and then they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, how did you know?" And then and then it gets checked off from within. So miracles, I don't know how else to say it, have been realized with real eyes. Once you get your real eyes, instead of the scripted veil that's just covering like a mask, like the theater mask, right? But it happens. There are visions. One of my visions is a recurring one, and it's huge. It's a multi-layered vision. It does have to do with the death. Wow. With the trajectory of humanity. Now, when I first received this, 2014-15, I had a mental breakdown because I'm like, oh, too much information. Had it again, solar eclipse 2017. I was ready then. Then when I understood about the ability to have multiple experiencings, you, me, our one essence has the ability to experience life in multiple ways. Whether we want to see a squirrel cross the road or a deer cross the road, whether we want to have sunshiny days or rainy days, whether the coronavirus is this or that or another thing. Weather exists, W-E-A-T-H-E-R. It exists. It's just, it exists in different ways. Animals exist. It just crossing the road. It comes in different formats. And the answer that these visions keep joyfully screaming at me is joy, love, not just with words, not just with fake feelings. And I began to pray. And now the song's always been, and I pretend to pray. We cannot pretend our emotions. We cannot just wave at our neighbor while we're on the inside. Your state of being, it on the inside, is how you are going to experience and are experiencing the outer. So no matter what is going on around, like, okay, so no matter what realm you're finding yourself in now, how do we jump to another realm? And yes, I've jumped to different realms, and some people call it timelines. When I'm more 3D-like and more stuck in the realness of what humanity is told real life is, oh my gosh, my body is so heavy. It's like a magnet. It just sticks me to the ground, and it's hard to walk. And then the people in the world seem colder and heavier energy-wise. I'm not judging. I'm just experiencing. Okay. So I bounce around, and I forget, and I get returned. Another one of my visions is we're on a spiral, and we keep being able to go up and down the spiral, and you get to glide swiftly if you've removed some blockages. I just had a friend, unbeknownst to them, two of them, when help me like purge, clear a blockage of yet another one, and it lifted me back up to a higher dimension, finger, because I was vibing low, and recovering from that can be hard too. I know I'm rambling. I don't know how else to explain this. It's just when my friend, who's not affected by the Mandela Effect or aware of the multiple experiencings, actually she's aware of dead people because she helped me when the Georgia FBI people asked for my help. I was able to know some things. So she's aware that I could see things beyond what this quote normal earth gives us. Anyhow, sorry, I'm rambling again. Different timelines, different realities. You are one hand experiencing life one at a time through different fingers. Now, the fingers are experiencing life simultaneously on the one hand. It's just that you're only aware of living life on one finger. You're really more fingers. And yeah, you do bounce around. You know, when you have a family gathering and a new baby is born, like a Piper baby. Yeah, that's the new baby's name for my friend. You know, everyone vibes so high, and you end up being on a different finger. And then when the news brings you bad news, that's the new news. That's the new that they want you to live in. That's the new. That's their new. Was that your new before you watch their news? You get to choose what your new is, your here now, your next moment is your new news. You get to decide what finger to live on. Yeah, you got to stop watching the weather forecast. I could have probably not listened to my passenger. I could have drove right through that empty road without any issue. That was a good thing though, because I learned, you know, and I got to see a full antlered deer right in front of my car. While you're experiencing this, it's hard to snap out of a, I want to say, lower vibing finger timeline experience, especially if you know, everyone's hurt around you. This is going to be the tough part, is pick one thing that you're grateful for. Sounds new age-ish. I get it. I resist that too. I resist that as much as I resist Bibles and other holy books, because they're all templates for them to get you to their corner. I want you to get to your own corner and go to where you really want to be, not where Medusa Medea is funneling you into, not where, you know, certain cultures and even family beliefs want to funnel you into. You be you. You have your own new news. You have your own here now. You have your own sunny weather. So to shift out of that, the exciting news is that the cast of other fingers from other hands that were with you on that one timeline that you were on, they moved with you too, and guess what? They changed too. Now, when I was in the middle of my divorce, someone said that, and I was like, oh my gosh, that'll never change. But my former husband, people will either slough away or they'll start being, capital B, capital E, ing. I hear you, birdie, birdie. That's more in alignment of your own state of being. And if their highest vibes are not with your highest vibes, then they'll slough away. And I used to hold on to everybody and mourn the deaths of people that are alive. I only have one person, that's my oldest daughter. I still hold on to her. I love you. It's a ramble. I get this is the best I know how to answer your question, my dear Piper's grandmother. I love everyone who's listening. I love everyone who's hearing. I love everyone who's not. And yeah, I hear the birdie. Where are you, birdie, birdie? I love you.